The 19th Abaco Business Outlook is coming up Thursday, September 21st at the Abaco Beach Resort. Join us as we discuss the theme, Forward, Upward, Onward Together, a bold vision for Abaco in celebration of the nation's 50th anniversary of independence. Keynote address by the Honorable Wayne Monroe, Minister of National Security. Speakers are Daphne Gregory, 𝗖𝗛𝗥𝗡𝗘𝗥, Chantel Sands, Lasagna Missick, Linda Davis, Sheandra Newton, Carl Archer Jr., Cyprian Gibson, Ian Pratt, and Samantha Lookie. Don't miss this valuable networking opportunity. Register now at tclevents.com or call us at 322-7505 or 6. That's Abaco Business Outlook, Thursday, September 21st.
In the heart of the turquoise Bahamas, a phoenix has arisen from the ashes. A story of resilience, strength, and unwavering determination. After the devastation of Hurricane Dorian, Abaco was left battered but not beaten. They lost homes, but they never lost hope. Join us as we explore the indomitable spirit of this island paradise. This is an inspiring journey of rebirth and renewal. The story of a community that refused to surrender. Today, against all odds, Abaco is back in business. Keep watching. A brand new episode of You and Your Money starts now.
You and Your Money is brought to you by FOCAL and Leno Corporate Services.
Welcome to You and Your Money, everyone. Joining us today to talk about economic recovery and business revival are both Mr. Roscoe Thompson, Chairman of the Marsh Harbor Spring City Township, and Mrs. Daphne DeGregory, President of the Abaco Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Thompson and Mrs. Mayollis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Now, Daphne, what strategies and initiatives were implemented to revitalize the local economy in Abaco post-Hurricane Dorian, and how effective have they been in attracting investments and tourists back to the region?
Well, immediately after Dorian, we were inundated with help from all around the world, from European countries, the U.S., British Navy, many foreign aid came to us, NGOs. And fortunately, our government was receptive and allowed them to really come in and even somewhat disrupt each other in their efforts to do what they can to rebuild Abaco. I have to say that COVID, unfortunately, came right behind them, as you recall. So just as they were getting momentum, just as we were getting, really making strides, they all had to leave. And we went into a year and a half, basically, of dormancy, where we were in lockdowns and that whole momentum was lost. Post-COVID, because we have to look at things in terms of post-Dorian, post-COVID, Abaconians really came up and pulled their boots on, went to the ground as Abaconians do, and I have to congratulate all of the businesses that really pulled together to bring us to where we are today.
Now, Roscoe, can you highlight some success stories of businesses that have not only recovered but thrived in Abaco since the hurricane? And also let us know what factors contributed to their resilience and growth.
First of all, I'll point out Maxwell's, which we were very and extremely grateful for, because they house not just Commonwealth Bank, but they also house the pharmacy, the chemist shop, and a brokerage agency. So it was pretty much a one-stop shop. I have to give credit to Mr. 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪 and that group for what they did in coming to the aid of the Abaconians and getting open back up to allow us to have the necessities that we needed, medication and clearing stuff. I'll give you G&L Ferry Service, which is another company that really bounced back after Dorian. They offer service to the Keys, Hopetown, Manawak, Wanakee. So they were able to get their boats back in the water and offer that service, which was awesome for the residents that needed to get back and forth between the Keys. Today, for an example, they have expanded now to Front Street, which has allowed some of the less concentration of traffic up at the crossing to be now diverted to another area. So they're another company that I would like to point out. And going back to Maxwell's, it opened up them for opening a hardware division and a home side division where you could get home goods. So it was very it benefited us very well here in Abaco. You have quite a few small businesses that actually bounced back, which were great to see, like Doug's Place, the little electronic home goods. It's just amazing to see Imports Unlimited, another hardware store, Abaco Groceries. They were able to bounce back and be productive in our community, opening up what we needed to help with the commerce here in Abaco.
Well, I mean, it's good to know even the small businesses, because sometimes you probably think that they would not be able to bounce back as quickly as you're saying that some of them have been able to. And I think it leads pretty well into wanting to find out, Daphne, how has the government supported small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs in Abaco, to help them with the rebuilding and regaining their economic footing, especially considering the unique challenges they faced?
Well, I'm really excited about the number of businesses that are here, especially from the Abaco Chamber's standpoint. We recently hosted a workshop specifically geared towards young entrepreneurs and invited school students to attend. Of course, they're the next generation. So where in the past, the Chamber has always been looked on as a sort of elite group, I don't know why, and representing a small number of big businesses, we're really reaching out to the small business and to the schools and trying to equip young adults coming into the business community of steps they can take. And we plan to engage them as well in some of their, community service hours that they need to generate in the Chamber to conduct surveys and various things. Of course, the government provided us with 𝗖𝗧 initially right after Dorian, which was to run for 3 years. COVID cut us off by about 1.5 years. And a lot of people took advantage of that, some legitimately and some unfortunately took more advantage than they should have. But in the long run, it rebuilt. It benefited Abaco to be able to rebuild and provide beds, housing. One of our biggest challenges today is we don't have enough room keys. We're overflowing with visitors. Abaco is a hot spot. People want to come here, and we need more businesses coming in to offer services, and we had hoped that more of our Bahamian-owned mega enterprises from New Providence would see this as an opportunity to move into Abaco, which is going to be the next second city very soon.
Now, Daphne, let's talk about what are some of those sustainable development plans and strategies that you have in place to ensure that Abaco's economic recovery is resilient and not vulnerable to future natural disasters or even economic shocks?
Well, Ria, I think I would have to have a crystal ball to be able to look into how do we protect against natural disasters. That's a big one. I, for one, I'm the owner of a farm. My Abaco Neem, we're a farm-based business. I can't put an umbrella over my fields. I can't put a net around, the vegetation. One of the things Abaco lost tremendously was our pine forest, and all the homes, people think about, they've lost all their homes, but they lost all their vegetation, their landscaping, their fruit trees. It became very apparent to my husband and I that we need to grow fruit trees because, yes, we need food, but fruit is a very important part of our diet, not just for ourselves, but for our tourist industry.
Right.
Far too often we hear of visitors who say, but what are the local fruits? We want to taste the flavors of the island. And so apples, bananas, pears, grapes in the food store that are all imported, they don't reflect the 𝗖𝗛𝗥𝗡𝗘𝗥, 𝗖𝗛𝗥𝗡𝗧, sugar apple. These are the things that we need to cultivate. So we've actually started doing that. As far as economic challenge, I think probably the best defense that we could put in place for that is education.
Okay.
Again, I go back to the youth. We need to have more trained, skilled labor. We need to have more technical schools. That is very, very much in demand.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Abaco is at a shortage.
Okay.
Anybody who was a farmer before is now a construction worker. Anybody who was a construction worker now is a, foreman. It's the fear of not having that labor force that's trained. That is what we have a shortage of. That's where we need to focus.
Now, Roscoe, in what ways have the changes in Abaco's economic landscape influenced the livelihoods and aspirations of its residents? And how are these changes shaping the community's future?
It's opened a lot of opportunities for people, I guess, that did not have the funds before to invest.
Okay.
And I say that for people that left, they bought up properties, they turned them into, rental units, Airbnbs, mm-hmm. that type of thing, which I'm not too keen on the Airbnbs because we're on a shortage of the long-term rentals.
Okay.
So I just want to make that clear. But it opened a big opportunity for a lot of people to buy properties that they might not have been able to afford before at a lower cost. I know a lot of real estate transactions happened after Dorian, but it also gave our economy a boost. It allowed people that were from Nassau, Grand Bahama, other areas, the NGOs that came in and rented, to give us a boost to help us through. Mm-hmm. At this time, looking and seeing what has happened in Marsh Harbor, we are the central hub for all the businesses. And I'm very proud to say that we have seen a big increase of new businesses as well as old businesses that have come back to reinvest in their community because they are part of our community. So, and it's also good to see those new businesses that have opened up. We have a deli out in the front there now, for example. You have other companies that have come over and they've just had that opportunity. So that investment that was not there before mm-hmm. was made available, unfortunately, at our expense of a natural disaster and Hurricane Dorian, but it allowed for investment, which is very nice to see.
Well, it's definitely good to see that, there's new and old business showing up in Abaco, despite what may have happened with Dorian. Well, Mr. Thompson and Mrs. 𝗖𝗎𝗓𝗧, we have to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to look at event tourism and business growth. This is You and Your Money. We'll be right back.
The 19th Abaco Business Outlook is coming up Thursday, September 21st at the Abaco Beach Resort. Join us as we discuss the theme, Forward, Upward, Onward Together, a bold vision for Abaco in celebration of the nation's 50th anniversary of independence. Keynote address by the Honorable Wayne Monroe, Minister of National Security. Speakers are Daphne Gregory, 𝗖𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏, Chantel Sands, Lasagna Missick, Linda Davis, Sheandra Newton, Carl Archer Jr., Cyprian Gibson, Ian Pratt, and Samantha Lookie. Don't miss this valuable networking opportunity. Register now at tclevents.com or call us at 322-7505 or 6. That's Abaco Business Outlook, Thursday, September 21st.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Welcome back to You and Your Money. We're continuing our discussion on Abaco is back in business. Here with us today we have Mr. Roscoe Thompson and Mrs. Daphne DeGregory. In the first segment, we talk about economic recovery and business revival. In this segment, we're going to be discussing event tourism and business growth. Now, Daphne, what has the economic impact of festivals and events been on Abaco's local businesses and tourism in the recent years?
Well, the festivals have been an excellent generation of revenue for the Keys, in particular Hope Town, with music festivals. You know, they've contributed greatly to the fire department, for instance, to the lighthouse rebuild, obviously brought a lot of revenue into the resorts that are there, and that they've even had one post-Dorian, so their intention is to continue them, which is great to know. Regattas, I know that they had a regatta. We hadn't had one in a couple of years. Member of Parliament John Pender, he was determined to bring regattas back to Abaco, and they had a successful regatta. And I understand, I may be letting the cat out of the bag, but sloop regattas are planned for the future as well.
Now, Roscoe, how can Abaco attract more events during traditionally slower tourism periods, and what types of events would be most beneficial for the local economy?
I think Daphne touched on it, the regattas, the music festivals. But a thing that I personally believe in our slower tourism months is the resorts teaming up with Bahamas Air or airlines and car rentals or Airbnbs and offering package deals, because you don't find that too often here in Abaco. It's you got to pay for your hotel, your car rental, or your golf cart, or whatever, in your airfare. So maybe, combining them all and offering that when they have a music festival per se in one of the Keys, or even if they look at doing something here in Central Marsh Harbor at the Great Abaco Beach Resort, doing things like that. The regatta is an awesome thing that has come back to the Abacos, which is greatly needed.
Now, Daphne, you talked about there being the collaboration component. Is there a directory that the chamber actually houses so that persons can get access to information as to who's doing what or which businesses actually exist and are still relevant?
We're actually working on that. In fact, I've been in communication with the Ministry of Tourism, because right now they have a lot of, they have the events booked that go through tourism. Chamber might have events that relate to the business community. We need to link the two together, and perhaps tourism can incorporate the business events, and the chamber website can incorporate tourism. So yeah, that's one of the projects actually that I'm hoping to solicit some high school students to help to actually sit down and put this together, the dates, coordinate the calendars that can be uploaded onto our website. We are only a handful of directors. We're all very busy in our lives. It's like a PTA, you've got 100 people on the PTA and 5 that do the work. It's kind of the same with the chamber.
Roscoe, now in what ways can the success of music festivals and events in Abaco be sustained over the long term, ensuring that there's continuous growth for local businesses and tourism?
Well, I did touch on it earlier. I think most of our music festivals happen in the Keys, Hope Town, Manawar, Guana, those type. But bringing some of them to Central Abaco onto the mainland, I think would be a big plus for us. It would allow, as Mr. Gregory touched on, vendors coming out, similar to our Goombay Festival, our Goombay Summer Festival. but a little more intricate in regards to the music, who's coming, and promoting that, and making sure, everybody gets an opportunity that is available to offer their services.
Daphne, let's talk about what are some of those strategies that can be employed to effectively market and promote Abaco as an event tourism destination, which would be drawing both domestic and international visitors to the island for various events.
Well, one thing I would just touch on, we have this area that is called the BAIC Park, because having a venue is important, and we have never really had a proper venue to put these events on mainland Abaco, in the Marsh Harbor area. But I happen to know that property is going to be developed. Finally, it is finally going to be developed as a proper farmers market and venue opportunity for hosting these kinds of events, and I cannot wait. It's been long needed. The idea is to provide a venue where every weekend something can be going on there, especially from the farmers market standpoint. That's exciting.
Mr. Thompson and Mrs. 𝗲𝗠𝗧𝗛, we have to take another break, but when we get back, we're going to talk about customer service training and guest experience enhancement. This is You and Your Money. We'll be right back.
Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Introducing the 𝗖𝗛𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧 Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the 𝗖𝗛𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download 𝗖𝗛𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 Pass now and fuel up faster today.
The 19th Abaco Business Outlook is coming up Thursday, September 21st at the Abaco Beach Resort. Join us as we discuss the theme, Forward, Upward, Onward Together, a bold vision for Abaco in celebration of the nation's 50th anniversary of independence. Keynote address by the Honorable Wayne Monroe, Minister of National Security. Speakers are Daphne Gregory, 𝗖𝗛𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗡, Chantel Sands, Lasanya Missick, Linda Davis, Sheandra Newton, Carl Archer Jr., Cyprian Gibson, Ian Pratt, and Samantha Lookie. Don't miss this valuable networking opportunity. Register now at tclevents.com or call us at 322-7505 or 6. That's Abaco Business Outlook, Thursday, September 21st.
Welcome back to You and Your Money. Mr. Roscoe Thompson and Mrs. Daphne DeGregory 𝗲𝗓𝗧𝗏 are still with us. In the previous segments, we spoke about economic recovery and business survival, in addition to event tourism and business growth. In this segment, I want us to talk about customer service training and guest experience enhancement. Now, Daphne, talk to us about some of the specific challenges that businesses in Abaco have faced in terms of providing excellent customer service, and how have these challenges impacted the guest experience on the island?
Well, one of the challenges, I think, throughout the country, not specific to Abaco, has been BPL and power supply. That's been a not consistent service, and that affects everyone. Unfortunately, it's not something, it's not a quick fix, it's not an easy fix, and at the moment we're having a little bit of a in union boycott or slowdown that unfortunately affects everybody in the country. But for us, skilled labor, I touched on it earlier, we need more skilled labor so that we can provide the quality of service that we need, not just in the construction. When I speak about skilled labor, people don't automatically think about construction, but proper training from managerial positions straight down.
Roscoe, tell us, how is it that Abaco businesses can strike a balance between employee convenience and meeting the desires and needs of guests, particularly when it comes to accommodating later hours and enhancing the overall vacation experience?
Well, I know Mr. DeGregory touched on it earlier in regards to the Bahamas Host Program and Ministry of Tourism, instituting those back into the hospitality with the resorts that are here and throughout our keys, you know, from Great Abaco Beach to Baker's Bay to Green Turtle Key Club, you know, just throughout. In regards to the staff and giving them the opportunity, and I say this because I know that staff put out a lot of work and they need to be compensated for that overtime through availability in regards to, you might have to put them up for the night where they might live on the key, example, Baker's Bay or Hopetown or whatever, you know, where it may be, but they need to be compensated. I think that in regards to our hospitality business and giving and offering that service to the tourism side of it, you need to be there, but they also need to be compensated and trained professionally. If it's in-house or if it's in conjunction with the Ministry of Tourism or the Bahamas Host Program or whatever it may be. But I think it's all intertwined with each other. And that's how Daphne said it, and I never even thought of it that way, is smile. I think that really caps it off, because the smile says a lot rather than, you know, a frown walking away from a customer.
One of the things I've always done with my staff or anyone that we work together, first of all, I always tell my staff, I'll never fire you. You fire yourself. You either want to be at work, you either want to perform, or you don't. So your performance will determine whether you have a permanent job or not. The other point is, when you come to work, yes, we all have problems. Every one of us has something going on in our lives that we'd like better. Use this opportunity, being at work, to give yourself a mental break from that. You can't fix that problem while you're at work. On your work hour time, you need to put all your energy into being the best that you can on the job. Give yourself a mental break. Deal with the problem when you get home or on your way home, but leave it at home.
Mr. Roscoe Thompson and Mrs. Daphne DeGregory Mayollis, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
As we wrap up this episode of Abaco is Back in Business, we've explored exciting opportunities for the island's tourism and business sectors. From expanding events to enhancing customer service, Abaco is on the path to success. Thanks for joining us, and remember, Abaco's future is promising, and we're all a part of its story. Until next time, stay engaged and keep Abaco thriving. Here are our dollars and cents snapshots from this week's show. Number 1, economic rebirth. Abaco's revival means a boost in the local economy, driven by an increased tourism, new businesses, and vibrant events. Number 2, business opportunities. Abaco is ripe for entrepreneurial ventures, offering a range of opportunities for startups and investors alike. Number 3, customer-centric success. Prioritizing customer needs and extending service hours can lead to increased revenue and a reputation for outstanding customer service. If you want to know more about how you can be my next guest on this show, you can send me an email. That's ria@riacristina.com with the subject line, Next Guest. That's it for today's show. Don't forget to follow You and Your Money on Facebook and tune in next week for a brand new episode. I'm Ria Cristina. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.